What's up, YouTube? Shadow Lurker here, and today, as you can tell by the title and by probably the image, we are going to be doing a max spin on the new commander, Joan of Arc Prime. We just hit the freebie one. We got one head out of that, which is pretty good. I usually don't get that lucky. We'll do the next 5 roll here. We got a bunch of heads out of that. So far, so good, I would say. Roll again, and we get 1 head out of that. Plus we get 1 legendary sculpture head, which is not too bad. We get another one in this 5 roll. And then we roll this time, we get 1 golden head. This one here is not looking too bad. We get 3 Joan heads, and then we get just 1 golden sculpture. And then it starts getting worse. That one's just all resources and some speed ups. This one's also the same. And then for this one, we just get 1 golden sculpture, or golden head. We get 2 Joan heads on that spin. And then 2 more on this spin. And then we spin again, we get, a couple more. And, I'm not going to keep narrating it, but I can tell you right now, so I max spun both days, you'll see it in this video, and it was very bad. You'll see in the end where I get her to. I was hoping to have Joan of Arc Prime, at a decent, with skills, whether it was like 5.5 or like 5.3 or, just a decent, I would get a decent number, and it did not happen. I was planning on maxing Jan and Joan, but right now I will more than likely win both MGEs in the next 2 weeks. I mean, I could probably win all of them if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. So I end up buying that bundle, and then right now I'm just gonna level her up. So I'm gonna end up probably winning the next 2 MGEs just to get me a decent amount of Jan sculptures. And then I'll probably finish in, top 5, top 10 for the remainder with that cycle. And I'm hoping I can get enough gold heads out of it that I can actually end up maxing both of them. Now, I have watched a bunch of videos from the other YouTubers doing, trials and errors on Joan of Arc Prime. And, early on people were saying OP. After watching all these trials, I watched a couple of them today. All of them ended up basically saying that she's okay and, go ahead, don't have to max her, etc. My personal opinion is if you look at the first skill of Joan of Arc, it says it hits in a 3 targets in a fan facing forward shape, but it does not have any difference when hitting those targets. Like XY has I think it's like minus 15%. I'm not on my computer at the moment, so bear with me, but when it hits another target, the damage isn't the same. Joan of Arc Prime, when hitting multiple targets, does not have that debuff. Or I guess it's a debuff on yourself, basically, limiting your attack, your skill damage. So if you're hitting your skills at 10 seconds each time the double skill of Joan of Arc, you're doing 2,000 damage per 3 targets twice. So you're doing 4,000 skill damage on, 6 targets. in, I don't know, less than a couple of seconds. Plus, if you're pairing with, let's just say, Nevsky, I mean, Nevsky's only going to hit one, but whoever that first target is going to be taking, what, 6,400 damage, I think. I think Nevsky's 24. I could be wrong on that. But with all that, I mean, I can't see why she's not OP, because she definitely is. Obviously, who you're going to pair her with, I mean, that's a different story, because, you know, you don't want to get hit. So, right now, I was asked by somebody in the kingdom, Preston, to give him a shout out on this video, and I'm going to right now. He's been asking for one for a while. Here you go, Preston, here's your shout out. Maybe I'll do that in some videos. I'll just shout out some people from either our kingdom or other kingdoms that I know. I want to be a little more open and, you know, have people enjoy my content, because I'm not sponsored, so I don't have to maybe follow certain rules as maybe content creators that are sponsored have to. So I can be a little more open and transparent and lenient with things. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff. I think Joan of Arc, if you can max her, I think you definitely should. However, if you do not have another Cav commander that can pair with her, maybe just, you know, unlock her and work on her down the road. I think there's definitely some commanders you could possibly put with her that would work, like maybe Mechmed. I think with the double AoE, I think it would be decent. I don't know how you would run that march. I mean, it's probably not going to do very well, but I do think that you could definitely do it. And I mean, if you're free to play, I don't see why you couldn't use like a Baybars. I think Baybars you could probably use. I do not recommend using epic commanders, but you know, some free to play players maybe can't make 5 decent marches, so I'm gonna say you could go that route. I don't think you probably should, but I mean, it's definitely an option. And I mean, even Osmond, I mean, you could go that route as well if you would need to. I don't recommend using any epic commanders, but I know there's some people that do. I think probably the best commanders right now that you could probably put with Joan is probably Nevsky. You could probably do XY Joan, just because of both of them having AoE. And other than that, I think maybe Bert. You'd have to do Bert Prime. I know this was done in a video, but Bert is pretty tanky. I have done rallies with Bert. You can look through my videos. I have done comparisons with Attila and Bert. I think with Bert's slower cycle and Joan being, you know, hitting really hard, I do think that the tankiness and running the Joan second, I think it'll keep it on the field longer, and you're going to get a lot of like kill points and maybe severely wounded out of it. So like during KVK, let's just say you're fighting in an altar, or you know, you're fighting for a Z5 territory, I think Bert and Joan could be an option if you want to keep XY Nevsky or Nevsky William as a pair on the field. I think Joan probably is going to be a commander that you can kind of throw around differently. Like she doesn't really care who she's with. Maybe don't put her with like Takeda or anything, but any like skill damage, decently tanky marches, you can probably use her with. I know they were saying about Khan. I do think Genghis Khan could be an option, but I don't know if I would go that route. Like, if you do not have Khan, or like, let's just say you have him at 5-5-1-1, I would not invest in Khan. At least not at this time. Khan lost his field use years ago, so I think at this point I would just say skip over Khan and just focus on, you know, other commanders that are at least recently meta commanders, like your XYs and maybe, I mean, Mechmed you can get with chest. So, you know, if you have Mechmed's probably decent, and you buy the relic, Mechmed probably gets really, really good then. As you can see right here, this is going to be the tree that I think I'm going to probably use if I use Joan Prime. I was looking through it, trying to debate, and I think this is probably the best tree at this time. Obviously, if Joan's second, it doesn't matter, but I do think this in the support tree, you do need to go both sides, just to get the rage and just to reduce some skill damage. And everything else, I don't think you need in that tree. And versatility, I don't think I have one commander that has anything in versatility. If it does, it's in the first slot, just to give, I think it's like is it like 0.5 attack? I guess you could maybe do more in the cav tree, but I think you just want to try to get the most rage you can without going over. So I think this is probably the best tree that you can do. I hope you enjoy. I'll catch you in the next video. Hopefully it is with me with a max Jan. See ya.